The most important video in the watch world is here. Every single year I make a tier list video. I do that in a suit and that's why I always look nice. I really hate the suit. I lost too much weight. This is like wrapping around me. Can we do this just with a shirt? This is my mic, by the way. Hello, can you see me? Let me put this in. I'll do this really fast, I promise you. Or Johnny makes it look fast. In this video, I'm gonna officially reply to Hublot, so be ready for that. This video is sponsored by our partners, Shopify. I love Shopify. They're the best thing in the world. I've been using them for 8 years, but we're gonna talk more about that later in the video. The tiers are the same as last year. God tier, best of the best. Class, Woodbuy, Me, Scheid, and the Hublot category. That's bottom of the barrel stuff. When you're in the Hublot category, you're making the worst watches you've ever seen in your life. And the honorable mention category is back. We're doing this in a very positive manner. I want this video to be very positive, but I can't guarantee anything. Why did you still put Berneron in there? Berneron, lovely, honorable mention. They haven't produced anything since last year, so yeah, just quickly, there's nothing to talk about there. They only really have one watch at the moment. So I can't really rate that, can I? I'm gonna get AP rattled in this video, man. Panerai, absolute shite. I could talk about this every single year, and every single year it's the same shit. It's just shite. Used to love Panerai way before my first tier list video. I can't, so many choices. Every single year I have been slating Aventi. And we finally got to the point where everyone realized they're a scam. A lot of people ordered watches and paid for them. Well, a few people, because not many people actually wanted that shit. But now all of a sudden these people were waiting for their watches and they didn't get them. Absolute Hublot category, per usual. Don't buy Aventi. There's absolute no reason buying that. Jacques Dreux. Johnny, I really wanted a positive video, but like Jacques Dreux, I am genuinely wondering, is that money laundering? Are they laundering money? How the is that company making money? I have never ever seen anyone ever saying, I'm gonna buy a Jacques Dreux. That company must be laundering money or something, allegedly or whatever, before you sue me. I have no idea, mate. It's soulless. I'm putting them in the shite category, but let me tell you, Johnny, they're not shite, but like, it's just weird. I'll stick them in shite. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the Fossil Group, the company that actually bought Michael Kors for hundreds of millions and also owns several watch brands, including Zodiac. And Zodiac is a brand that we as Pride and Pinion hold as a authorized dealer. I like Zodiac watches. I don't like Zodiac's service. Zodiac's service is shit. It actually has cost us money where we had a problem with a watch where we had to take care of everything. There's crazy potential with Zodiac. However, the way they've dealt with things is just beyond ridiculous. I really love the Super Seawolf. I love the history. I think it's a class watch for the money, but some of the watches actually had a lot of problems, and me as a dealer, that's unacceptable. So Zodiac is now demoted to the shite category. It doesn't feel like I want to represent Zodiac in any way, shape or form in my business anymore. And while we're talking about the Fossil Group, they're also on the verge of bankruptcy while we're at it. Yeah, I'm quite sad about that because I wish Zodiac was better, but Fossil is also going in the shite category. Look at this, Johnny. Fossil is restructuring as debt and tariffs take toll. No, Fossil. You making wrong decisions takes its toll. Look at yourself in the mirror, mate. Fossil, what the are you doing?
You could just say Fossil's now just a bundle of bones.
Johnny.
Put Fossil in a museum.
Johnny. You can't do that. That is.
Someone call Indiana Jones.
That is a red card. That's a joke that AI would do. Make a joke about Fossil watches dying. My Fossil watch stopped working. Guess it finally went extinct. My Fossil watch died. I guess it really dug its own grave. Yours is
better.
Yours is so AI generated.
My Fossil watch isn't chronometer certified because it's always stuck in the past.
No. Off. Gucci, shite. Basically, I could say we just fill in the shite category first. Oh, mate, I'm really conflicted with this. Tech Heuer is doing some awesome stuff. I think Tech Heuer is absolutely lost with price points. It's not just Tech Heuer, it's every single brand. Every single brand is raising their retail prices to the moon. Like, it's actually hilarious. None of those brands actually realizes that it's damaging their brand in the first place. And second of all, it's damaging their sales funnels. The true monetary value of their watch is decided on the secondary market. Simple as. Because that's where you see what people are willing to pay for that watch. What you see now is that retailers and brands are increasing their prices significantly. Like, it's crazy. And what you're going to see now is that people are steering away from the authorized channels and going straight to the secondary. That's good for us as a business, pride and pinion, but for the industry as a whole, it is really, really bad, because our task is to create more wrists to put watches on. And all the brands are doing is creating dog shite that is not creating any wrists, and they're increasing prices like they're no tomorrow. Why would you pay 30% more for an IWC? Tell me this. Why? Why would you do that? Do people not care about their money? Whenever they buy this throughout the authorized channels, you lose about 30% immediately on IWC for sure. That's a problem we need to figure out how to solve. IWC is not a bad watch brand, by the way. I actually really like IWC, but I think the absolute absence of identity, I am really sad where IWC is heading, and that's why IWC is in the Merc category. Not in the shite category.
What about Tag Heuer though?
Oh yeah, we were talking about Tag Heuer. I never wanted a Monaco until the recent Monaco split second. Watch is insane. What a beautiful watch, and I think their branding, the marketing is spot on, but the pricing is absolutely retarded. Would I buy a Tag Heuer if the price was right? And I don't feel the price is right. So Tag Heuer is going to be in the Merc category.
Pretty positive video so far.
Yeah, I have no would buys and no class and definitely no god tiers. I was so surprised last year about Raymond Weil. They're making insane watches. Last year I've asked during the tier list video, I want to sell Raymond Weil because of what they've done last year. And guess what? Pride and Pinion is authorized dealer of Raymond Weil, and I think a lot of their watches are class. Look at this. Look at some of their watches. They're class, I'm telling you. I think value for money, hands down, they're insane. They're one of the best in the industry. Mate, 950 quid. You're going to say to me that a Cartier tank is worth 7 times the amount? I think value for money, Raymond Weil is an incredible proposition. Like, name me a better looking watch than that. I know it's a lot of money, £1,975. If this watch had Patek Philippe on it, people would die and pay 25 grand for it. I am going to put Raymond Weil in the class category. That's our first class of the day. Sin, haven't heard anything about that recently. Meh. Here, by the way, just to point out, Nomos. Oh my God. The new world timer. One of the best world timers out there. Nomos is making moves. Nomos, I would buy. I would want that world timer. Swatch, incredible watch brand. Actually, one of the most important watch brands in the world. We wouldn't have the industry today if it wasn't for Swatch and the Swatch Group. Well, the Swatch Group owns a lot of watch brands like Longines, like Tissot, like Omega. Put that all aside. Swatch single-handedly made watches a fashion accessory, and I would always say Swatch is class. Simple as. Oris, shit. Jesus Christ, they're shit. They're trying to be AI funny like you were. Invicta, Hublot category, Jesus Christ, I don't know why you kept that one in. We were in New York and I had this big advertisement. Buy one watch, get 4 for free.
Times Square.
Times Square.
That's embarrassing.
That is embarrassing on Times Square. I'm just going through all the brands here and I want to put one in the honorable mention, which is Venezia Nico.
Venezia Nico?
Venezia Nico.
As in Venice Nico?
Yeah, exactly. They named that after me because I am the god of watches.
Have you ever been to Venice?
Yes. It's annoying. There's a lot of watch theft and it's full with Italians.
What about Venezia Nico watches though?
They're actually quite good. I would actually argue to say that I would buy one. So, but like they're too junior, so we're gonna put this in the honorable mention category. Venezia Nico, really annoying name. Rado, Me, Longines. You cannot go wrong with a Longines. Longines is always would buy. Longines is a powerhouse. Omega, they're doing the same shit every year and they do it right and they do it good. They're quite expensive. A Speedmaster nowadays is like 10 grand. It's absolutely ridiculous, but their watches are best of the best. Simple as. I like Omega and I will buy an Omega. Simple as. Next up is Shopify. Shopify is genuinely the god tier of commerce platforms in the world. Period. I've used Shopify for like 9 years with every single one of our businesses. Pride and Pinion, where we sell the most expensive watches in the world, is running on Shopify. And of course, our clothing, God tier, is also running on Shopify. However, we haven't had a drop in 2025, but we will in 2026. And we sell millions of pounds of watches every single month on Pride and Pinion using Shopify. It doesn't matter if you have an established business or if you want to start your own business. If you want to sell goods, Shopify should absolutely be your first stop. Shopify allows me to control my entire business from anywhere I am in the world. I could be in the UAE, I could be in Japan, I could be in Jill in China. It doesn't matter. At this moment in time, we have 31 people on our website. There's 2,000 people been on the website today. And actually set by location as well. We had 68 people from China. That is mad. I've never seen that. You don't even need a laptop to start a business or to open your business. You can do it with your phone. Running a business is not easy, but Shopify has simplified this with their new AI assistant. You can literally ask this assistant called Sidekick everything to make a product, make a description, or make an image, even make a image, all sorts of metric questions, the purest and best form of AI for business in the industry. You can type your questions, but you can also just talk to it. It's literally like having a proper assistant in your business. With this AI Sidekick, it has never been easier to start your business. And for that reason, and that reason alone, I am putting Shopify in the God tier category. I appreciate their support. And if you are thinking about opening a new business or moving your existing business onto Shopify, go to the first link in the description. Thank you so much, Shopify, for supporting me in my journey.
First brand in God tier as well.
And the only one that probably deserves it. Bremont, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to know why they're still on the list. Are they still selling watches? Bremont is Hublot. Off. The Hublot category. Honorable mention again this year, Groeneveld. Groeneveld is a Dutch watch brand. They're two brothers. Well, their father actually started the business, I believe, or even their grandfather started the business. They're two watchmakers, and I think they're making some of the best watches ever created. Simple as. Their chronograph is the best chronograph ever created, and I still don't have the money to buy that. Nevada Gretchen, watch company that was founded in the 1920s, 1925, 1926 in Gretchen. With their F77, which they relaunched in 2023, I think they have the win formula. That watch is insane. That watch is going to be one of the most popular watches in the industry, period. They make some of the coolest dials with that. And you know what? It's actually inspired by the last variation of the F77 when it was discontinued. They are insane, making big moves. I own 3 Nevada Gretchens and I absolutely love it. I personally think that Nevada Gretchen in the next coming years will become significantly more popular. Hands down, proposition wise, one of the best in the world, period. I think Nevada Gretchen is class. Simple. Incredible offering. Frédéric Constant, a watch brand that started a year after I was born in 1988. I was born in 87. And for years they were, how do we say it? Special. It's not important. The past is not important. There's incredible people that work in that company making incredible watches. I own 3 watches, including one piece unique. I am so glad to hear that Frédéric Constant is leveling up their own game. Let me put it this way. Frédéric Constant was visible at every UK airport. It was visible in every jewelers. Now they're changing that. Their perpetual calendar is hands down one of the best value for money perpetual calendars in the world. That brand is making moves. I would still want that perpetual calendar. So for me, Frédéric Constant is going to go in the Wubai category. They deserve it, and they have an incredible team. Roger Dubuis, I don't know what to say. It's shit. It's literally one of those Jacques Dreux stories. Who genuinely buys that? Jeje Le Cult. So we bit mixed feelings about that because this year they introduced potentially my favorite watch I've ever seen in my life. That gold reverso on the Milanese bracelet is one of the nicest looking watches I've ever seen in my life, and I really want that watch. I have not been able to find a contact at Jeje Le Cult. You would think I would know someone at Jeje Le Cult. I don't, and nobody has ever reached out. I've always spoken highly about the Jeje Le Cult. I think they're incredible in every way, shape or form. I think they're also significantly pricing themselves out of the market. But that aside, I want that reverso. And I think that Jeje Le Cult is the only, together with Cartier, the only Richemont brands that are worth looking at. And this year they knocked it out of the park again. Never do I get to speak with anyone from them. Maybe there's a memo at the Richemont office. Nico is banned for life. But that's what you get when you make stupid decisions as a company. Like they paid 250 million or 200 million or 70 million, whatever the million they paid for Watchfinder, and they had the unique opportunity to actually increase the demand of every single brand they have. The Richemont Group owns watch brands like Cartier, Jeje Le Cult, Piaget, IWC, Panerai. They also own Watchfinder. Watchfinder was the biggest secondary reseller of watches in the UK. With Watchfinder, they had the unique opportunity to basically create authorized pre-owned for every single one of their brands and position that and make that exclusive only to Watchfinder. The fact that they never used that opportunity to boost up their own values of their own brands shows the lack of IQ on the board of Richemont. It actually worries me. And now I have f***ed up every bit of relationship I could have potentially have with Richemont in one sentence. Yes, I will talk nice about you again, Richemont, when you invite me for the Dunhill Links. Dunhill Links is a golf tournament which I really want to play at. Can we make that happen, Richemont? And I will never give you shit again. That was a cynical joke, by the way. I do want that invite. JLC and Cartier are carrying Richemont. And you know what? I have this secret love for IWC as well. I own 3 IWC watches. I think George Kern led that brand to the absolute moon. It was mad. There was a period, and that was George Kern, who's now at Breitling, so we just immediately moved to Breitling while we're at it. Because I actually really like what Breitling is doing with the new top times. That top time, B01, Gino, whatever the his name is. That is such an incredibly good looking watch on the strap, on the bracelet. Breitling, why the did you attach that to a guy that I have no idea what the hell he is? That watch as a watch proposition is so unbelievably cool. George Kern left his position at IWC and took a position at Breitling and basically revamped the entire brand. And I really love what he's done. George Kern is also not a big fan of me, unfortunately, because I kind of something up there. Recently. We were supposed to meet him and I was busy and I made him wait and I never got to meet him and I think he hates me for that. George, my official apologies. I think you're one of the best leaders in the industry today. What he's done with IWC was insane and what he's now doing at Breitling, that's even better. And I want a top time and I just ordered a Navi timer. Breitling for me is, they're not in the class category yet, but Breitling for me is definitely in the would buy category. Like I said, I've just ordered a Navi timer. Citizen, Seiko. I would always buy a Seiko, mate. Frank Muller, pile of shit. Blancpain is shit. Montblanc, they're trying hard, they're trying very, very hard, and they're failing miserably. Shite. Orient, shite. Timex, would buy a Timex any day of the week. Casio, one of the most important watch brands in the world, hands down. Class. Back in the day, I put them in God tier, but like they don't deserve that spot anymore. They've ignored me for way too long. Yes, it's an ego thing. Do you not think that I have kind of promoted Casio my entire life and think it's the best thing since sliced bread, which is correct? And do you not think it then doesn't hurt when they say, we can do something cool, and then they pull out of that? And do you not think that they do collaborations with every person on the planet, constantly skipping me? Do you not think that doesn't hurt? Yes, of course it hurts. So you. Breguet, it pains me to say, they're going to go in the shite category. Richard Mille, well, they haven't whet my appetite or made me hard in any way, shape or form this year. So they're going to be in the Mer category. I was a big fan of Richard Mille, you know? Like, big fan. That was all I wanted to wear. And now it's just like, what the are you doing? Anyway.
Well, because of Manjaro, you went from 3 Richard Milles a day to 1 Richard Mille a day.
It's another AI joke, is it? Next up, Man, and I'm a big fan. Hey, cringe as
Shut up, bitch!
Anyway, together with Man, we made a watch. It was the first watch I put my name on, and I'm very proud of it. We won the best in category with this watch, basically the best jump hour. We've beaten Cartier, we've beaten A. Long & we beat the big names. Man is the future of the watch industry. Together with Nevada Gretchen, these guys are going to be making names for themselves, and they're making incredibly cool watches. I think Man is class. I think the guys are amazing. I wouldn't have made the jump hour together with Man if I wasn't a fan of the brand. I really appreciate Man, and I think if you're looking for something unique, something really cool, Man is your first stop. Hands down, value for money, the best watch out there. Angelus, love it. Would buy Belova. I don't know what to say about Belova this year. Bulgari, it's shite, mate. We had this race the last couple of years, right? With the thinnest watch. They're all made by one company, mate. Concepto. I think the ultra thin from Piaget was made by Concepto. The Bulgari Octa Finissimo was made by Concepto. They're not making anything themselves.
Now I have this theory. Bulgari is the biggest rebel in the entire watchmaking industry. These guys are sprinting. The rest of the Swiss industry seems to be going at a snail's pace.
That's time and tide about Bulgari. The biggest pile of shit you can ever imagine. Where is hashtag ad, you scumbags? Nobody is buying Bulgari watches, so don't let yourself be lied to. Nobody buys a Bulgari watch ever. These magazines are just PR firms for watch brands. That's all it is. I hope that you guys see through that. A. Long & Söhne, one of the best watch brands in the world. It just doesn't whet my appetite. It's a meh. Bell and Ross, meh. They stay in their lane. I respect that. I really want to put this out there that Laurent Ferrier is one of the best watch makers I've ever seen in my life. The guy is a genius. Laurent Ferrier is a watch brand named after the main guy, Laurent Ferrier. It's the CEO of Rolex, Mr. Dufour, that goes to Mr. Ferrier. It's not the other way around. That's how well respected he is. His story is actually so insanely unique. The next generation deserves to know this. His watches are hands down best of the best. And I would say that Laurent Ferrier would rival FP Journe in a couple of years. Absolutely class. And FP Journe although they make one of the most insane watches in the world, and Mr. Francois Paul is an absolute rocket, and I've shared several things about that in the past. I'm not going to go in detail, but for me it's me. FB Journe was a true collector brand in the past, and they're not anymore, unfortunately. Next up, Zapek, and I'm telling you one thing, Zapek is making moves, mate. Zapek is the watch brand I wore the most in 2025, hands down. Like, they're the reason why Patek Philippe existed. They, I think, co-founded Patek Philippe at the time, or even nearly bankrupted them. They were revived about 10 years ago. They celebrate their 10th anniversary, I think, next month, with Xavier, which is the CEO of Zapek. Xavier is a wee bit of an eccentric character, and you really feel that within the brand. Again, same as Laurent Ferrier, I struggle a wee bit with the message, and I would love to help. Not that I know everything, but like, I am a huge Zapek fan now. Zapek is grail shit now. Class. If they go on next year, they could be got there. Like, Cartier does everything right. Think they're class, but their prices are just beyond ridiculous. I'm demoting them to the would buy category. I know every year they were class, but like, I would buy them, but like, the prices are just retarded, mate. Chrono Swiss, always stay in their lane, always do things unique. Again, I hate the name Chrono Swiss. I said that last year. They're really, really cool, and I really respect them. I think people should make way more noise about Chrono Swiss, but Chrono Swiss doesn't pay Time and Tide. So Time and Tide is only talking about Bulgari. Chrono Swiss would buy. I want an honorable mention here. Louis Erard makes some really cool watches. Mad collaboration with Konstantin Chaikin, a watch we actually had for sale at Pride and Pinion. They launched a really cool integrated bracelet watch there this year, or recently actually, and I think they're doing some really cool shit. Same for Norcane, which I'm also going to put in the honorable mention, which is actually the family that owned Breitling and sold Breitling to the Chinese. They started Norcane, and you really see that they have experience with making watches. I like it. Honorable mention. Trilobe, French watch brand. Saw them for the first time 4 years ago on Watches and Wonders. Thought they were really cool. They won the GPHG award with one of the watches, I think. I'm starting to really dig it. Honorable mention. Also honorable mention for Resins. That's the oil watch. Basically the liquid dial. It's quite cool. Look it up.
If you accidentally crack the glass, does oil get out?
I'm not sure how that works, but it could be.
Use your whole dial.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Your dial drips out.
That is f***ing mad. Baumarché, Grand Seiko. Don't want to offend the lefties. I met someone that is actually transsexual, and he was wearing a Grand Seiko. Shit you not. Let me clarify. There's nothing wrong with that. I always make this joke about LGBTQ, and people think I'm against homosexuals or gay people. I'm not. But just to clarify, I make those jokes. It is what it is. It's funny. And I always say that Grand Seiko is LGBTQ. I have a friend of mine. He's gay. He's brilliant. He's one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. What a guy. And he is crazy obsessed with Grand Seiko, and I always make fun of saying, you are the epitome of a Grand Seiko owner. You're gay and you wear Grand Seiko. I like the guy. Great guy. I sound like Donald Trump. China, great country.
Gayest guy. I've never seen a gayer guy.
Yeah, I've never seen a gayer guy.
I call it Trans Seiko.
Trans Seiko. Well, I think you're special when you spend more than $1,000 for a Seiko, but that's me. Last year was Woodbuy. Today, this year's me. I don't know what the anymore about these guys. Like, it's just Grand Seiko, man. Christopher Ward, meh, boring. Piaget, shite. Zenith is meh. No, they're shite. They're trying too hard to look like a Hublot, to be honest. Ulysse Nardin, would I buy? Absolutely. For the simple reason that I think that the Ulysse Nardin Diver Air is one of the most insane watches ever created. Simple as, hands down. Alpine, honorable mention. Alpine is part of Frédéric Constant, and they're actually making really cool watches, so honorable mention. H. Moser, I'm really starting to love H. Moser again. So yeah, I think I would buy. Gérard Perregaux, shite. I have nothing to add to that. I'm so incredibly proud to see the business that I started, Pride and Pinion, growing in 2025. It's been a tough period, but we're pushing on. We're actually opening a complete new shop. We've done incredibly well. I always wanted to become an AD for many brands that I like, and one of which is Tissot. And Tissot with the PRX makes, hands down, one of the most popular watches in the world, period, and well deserved. I think the PRX should be in everyone's collection, and you should buy your PRX from Pride and Pinion. I think that Tissot is class. I think the PRX is one of the best watches out there. If you're thinking about buying a PRX, give us your business. It would mean a lot to me. It would mean a lot to my team, because we want to build Pride and Pinion to the next level.
Make it a PRX-mas this year.
That's Johnny, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to
sell that to Tissot if they want it.
Oh my God, this is getting worse and worse.
Tissot should be be using that and they owe me money for it.
PR Xmas. I'm gonna call Stephen. So we're gonna use it. That was single-handedly the most cringiest thing and genius thing at the same time. Stephen!
Hey, Carl.
We have the new marketing campaign for selling PRXs. Make it a PR Xmas!
PR Xmas. I like it.
I like it too! Buy your PRX at Pride and Pinion. You're supporting a small business and that means the world to every single one of us. Same as your Hamiltons, by the way, because some of the Hamiltons are really cool. I own 2 Hamiltons, which I bought way before we got the dealership. So Hamilton is definitely a would buy. Louis Monet, honorable mention. Save the best for last, bar Louis Vuitton, because that's gonna go in the Mer category. Tudor is would buy any day of the week. Rolex, I tell you what, Rolex is doing some good shit. The name Landweller is the worst name I've ever heard. Well, that's not true. But the Landweller is a watch, one of the best watches out there. I think it's insane. I want a Landweller in my own collection. Rolex is class. That 1908, insane. Patek Philippe. I need to be really honest here, Johnny. There's not really a Patek Philippe that I would like. I have a 5212, which I love. I had Nautiluses, but the Nautiluses that I have and I would like, they don't make them anymore. There's nothing out there anymore. Like, I don't want the Cubitus. It's a nice looking watch, but I wouldn't pay money for that. So for me, Patek Philippe is the meh. It's joining forces with Christopher Ward and IWC and Richard Mille. It's just not there. Vacheron Constantin. I'm rating them above Patek Philippe. I would want the overseas perpetual calendar skeleton, ultra thin, significantly more than I want any Patek Philippe. The 222, the steel 222, I think it's unbelievable. The gold 222. It's like roles have been reversed. And I didn't expect that, nor did I see that coming, because VC has done some stupid stuff in recent years, but it's weird. I didn't expect that at all because it's a Richemont brand. And usually anyone that works at Richemont is incapable of doing anything right. Vacheron Constantin, I'm putting them in the class category.
3 hours later.
That was the worst 3.5 hours of my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, it took Johnny 3.5 hours to sort out something.
Corrupted file, but if you see this, we're back.
And my hair looks a wee bit different. It's because there was a gap of 3.5 hours of filming.
From when you just put Vacheron into the tier list,
Yeah.
till right now it's been 3.5 hours.
Yeah, so that's how long it takes to shoot a video because Johnny corrupted the files, apparently. We have 3 left: Audemars Piguet, Chopard, and Hublot. Chopard is making some insane watches. As well as that, they know how to price that. They are pricing a standard time only or small seconds to the moon. They're insane watches. They're beautiful. Best of the best. But the price point, yeah, that scares the bollocks out of me. The LUC Quattro Mark IV, one of the nicest watches ever, 35 grand. The solid gold Daytona, which is a significantly more complicated movement, is priced at the same price point. Would I spend 35 grand for that? Absolutely not a hope in hell. Do I think it's absolutely spectacular? Yes. So therefore, Chopard's going to go in the Mer category. And now, it's time. Hublot and me have communicated, and I posted a story about that. This is Roman Sharf. Roman does a factory tour at Hublot. I know Roman's real opinion about Hublot, but that aside, Hublot today, I'm still processing. The experience was unreal. Of course, filmed it all because you need to see this for yourself. I like to keep things real, even though they're friends. I had to comment this. Lad, in your world, everything is unreal. Everything is amazing. As long as the commercials are right for you, it's unreal. Hashtag ad is missing Roman Sharf, including a ton of authenticity. Roman Sharf, as we all know, a friend of mine for many years, who doesn't want to be my friend anymore because of that story. I called out Roman for promoting Hublot when you get paid for it and you don't disclose that you get paid for it, and it also isn't really authentic. After this whole saga, Hublot and its CEO responded to me. Julien Bloet, that's the CEO of Hublot. Julien has a tough job because he became the new CEO of Hublot, and I appreciate that, and invited me for a lunch. Even Hublot's corporate account responded with, what do you think about coming to Nyon to visit our manufacturer? A chat and a lunch and maybe show the manufacturer. You guys are going to decide if I'm going to go to the Hublot factory to visit them and have lunch with the CEO. It's you guys decide that, not me. I gave my followers on Instagram the choice. Do you want me to go to Hublot? And the majority of the people. There were 10,000 responses and 87% said yes. This is my official response to Hublot and its CEO, Julien. Julien, I really appreciate your invite for lunch and I am happy to accept this on one condition only. I want you to make a donation of £100,000 sterling to a charity that is really close to my heart. Cash for Kids. Cash for Kids makes sure that there is no child in Northern Ireland without a Christmas present. And this is extremely important to me. Only after that is done, I will accept your invitation and we will make a video together. So let me be clear. I really appreciate it and I'm really grateful for the invitation. But I want to do something good. And please join forces with me to make this happen. Until that moment, you are still in your own category, which is the Hublot category. Julia, I'm telling you, do this for me and we will be friends. Next, AP. From one show to another one. I thought I was a big AP fan until Francois left, and then I realized I was actually a Francois fan because Francois built AP to where it is today, for sure. Today it is literally one big show. It's not the masculine brand it's ever been. The only reason why I'm saying the things I'm saying about AP today is because I actually care. AP is one of my favorite watch brands of all time. What the is going on at AP? Where is the masculinity? I wore my 26331, my chronograph, when both my children were born. We hit 1 million subscribers. I bought the AP music. AP is one of my favorite watch brands of all time. Today, it's not even a shell of what it's ever been. And that makes me really sad. AP is gonna go in the shite category today. And I never, ever expected that. I'm looking at the tier list today and I'm really proud. I want to make AP great again, mate. I'm here to help. Please reach out.
Still MAGA.
Still MAGA.
Make AP great again.
Still MAGA. Make AP great again.